Hi, I'm Dave Bergman, IPC Vice President of International Relations, and I have this week's Technical Question of the Week. This week's question comes from China, actually, one of our members over there, who had a question regarding moisture sensitivity in components. Specifically, they were looking at IPC and JEDEC standard J-STD-033 regarding the issue of baking of carriers and reels. The J-STD-033 indicates in paragraph 4.2.2 that 40 degrees C is the maximum temperature that can be used for baking of components, of particular concern when components are going to absorb moisture and being used on the shop floor. Again, your end concern is the popcorning effect of moisture pickup and exposure of the moisture in the wave soldering process. So there's a constant battle on having your components out on the shop floor, then having to rebake to be able to use it in time. Question is, why can't I bake these at a higher temperature? Because I want to save time. I want to increase my productivity. The J-STD-033 limits the temperature that can be used to 40 degrees C. So the natural question, why not 60? Well, the question was raised to staff and then to the committee chairman, who talked about the limit of 40 degrees C was put in place because the carriers or reels that are used to carry the components are in the past have been unable to tolerate higher temperature bakes. So essentially they melt or outgas, causing solderability problems. However, in current discussion, as technology moves further and people get more used to it and new materials start to find their ways into carriers and reels, higher temperature reels and carriers are being used by many component manufacturers. And so EMS companies have done some internal studies that says 60 degrees C for a majority of our components is okay, so we can get our components dry and put in place much faster. But because of the specification being in place, they get an audit question. So this question has been raised and pointed to the committee chairman working on J-STD-033, who indeed says, yes, we recognize that there has been improvements and we are actively discussing making modifications to the standard to make this allowance to allow the company's building assemblies to use increased temperature. They will probably put in the next revision of J-STD-033 allowances for 60 degrees C, with some caution that the manufacturer should evaluate whether their carriers can indeed tolerate the higher temperature bake.